Okay, ignore the hair right now because my hair is a right mess, so I'm not bothered about this situation going on right now. But right, so I want to discuss a couple of things. I don't know if I've had a bit of a influx of newcomers to my channel. Let me know down in the comment section before. Are you new to my channel? Have you seen some of my older videos or whatnot? Because I think I've had a bit of an income of some people falling across my videos for the first time, and yeah, leaving some nice comments and some suggestions and whatnot. So I thought I'd have a talk about a couple of things that some of you may or may not know, some of you may or may not be interested in. So it's up to you whether you keep listening, because as I always get told by some people who are new to my channel, you talk a lot. I'm like, I know I ramble on, so it is what it is. You either listen or you don't. It's up to you. You're in control of this. There's a little cross button up there if you don't want to hear me rambling. It's up to you. But I'm going to ramble and I'm going to have a talk about something. So yeah, I'm going to have a talk about why I do what I do and other little bits and bobs. So yeah, so if you are new to my channel, I love nothing more than, as you can guess, going travelling. I like going visiting new places that I've not been before, and seeing, I'm filming it as I go, as well as other things that I enjoy. Like I say, you only have to look back through my channel of, I've got a different various of activities and hobbies that I enjoy. But yeah, I like visiting new places. I like going travelling. What I don't enjoy, especially in today's world with everything that's happening, is money and getting ripped off. So irregardless to funding, yeah, whether me or you have got the funds or not, despite whether you have millions in the bank or not, that's up to your discretion, whether you think I do or don't, or whether you do or you don't, that you can do things that you enjoy, but you don't have to spend an absolute fortune. Do you understand? So I understand some things, the cost comes into it to some extent, the element of cost, like, certain, buying equipment and whatever. There's got to be some element of spending money. However, I like to try and do things in a very minimalistic, basic, cost-efficient way, where I'm not getting ripped off. And also, as you can also gather, in a very minimalistic way, to where I'm not carrying a lot of stuff. Because if there's one thing I hate, it's carrying loads of stuff. That part I'm still working on. That part I am, when it comes to the travelling, I'm still working on. Because as you can see, genuinely, I don't take a lot with me. I actually don't take a lot of stuff with me. My big backpack, that's quite big and fits quite a lot in it, it's a very good backpack. The main occupants in that bag is clothes. Now, I was having a conversation with my mum the other day about, why do you not take less clothes? Now, the problem with me is, when I'm going on these trips, I don't really know exactly how long I could be gone for. It could be a couple of days, it might be a couple of weeks. Like I said, the last trip I went on, my first big one, it was 5 weeks. Never thought that, do you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't exactly know how much stuff to take with me. And again, you've got to bear in mind weather, So I kind of think, right, I could take less clothes. I'll just take a couple of clothes. I don't need a lot. But then, as you have seen from previous videos, I'm very clumsy. If I fall over and I get wet and I get muddy, I want to have a nice clean clothes to change into. Do you understand? I mean, it's hard enough already that I'm not having access to maybe a shower every day or a bath every day. But if I fall and I get muddy and I get my pants wet, I don't want to be travelling long distances in wet clothes. So I'd like to have a nice clean pair of pants to change into. So obviously, and again, weather permitting, I want to take lighter clothes, a few lighter clothes like leggings. I'm not so guys, something you've got to know about me any day of the week, any day of the year. I don't dress for fashion. I dress for comfort. I don't care if I look scruffy, if my clothes have got a bit of holes in even though, or whatever, or they're a bit worn out or whatever. I dress for comfort. I wear what I find comfy, not what for fashion. So I take a couple of pair of leggings, maybe shorts in case it's hotter. And then I have a couple of pairs of waterproofs, obviously if it's raining. And a couple of pair of joggers, trackies. So overall I'm taking like 4 or 5 pair pants, which is quite a lot really. And like I said, leggings, because I sleep in leggings as well on a night. I sleep in leggings, so I like to change them up. Obviously tops, I like to have a few pairs of tops, sleeveless and sleeves. So I like to take a few pair of them. And then my other 2 main issues is I'm not really a coat wearing person. I don't wear a lot of coat. My hoodies are everything. I love hoodies. My hoodies are like my comfort blanket. So if you see a lot of my videos, I tend to be wearing a lot of hoodies. Even if it's nice, I'll still wear a hoodie. So I might disregard the coats and I have a hoodie. I love my hoodies. However, for Christmas just gone, my dad bought me an excellent coat. Well needed, I will say, especially when it's wet and cold. Proper, you know, a really nice coat, waterproof and everything. However, it's big and chunky. So when the weather is nice, that coat is too hot and too restrictive to wear. So I need to take it off. So what do I do when I take it off? I have to carry it because it's too big to fit in my bag. It's too big and chunky to fit in my bag. So when you saw me in previous videos and I had that blue co-op bag, in there was even snacks and my coat when I wasn't wearing my coat, and a water bottle. So yeah, so I need my clothes. And as well, bear in mind guys, and be honest with me guys, do you guys do this when you go travelling? I know guys who have done this. You take like 2 or 3 pairs of undies. You literally take 2 or 3 pairs of undies and then you might turn them inside out and wear them the other way, so you can get like a week out of the same undie. Is that the truth? Am I, you know, be honest with me, do you wear the same pair of undies for like a few days? Because obviously being a woman, I change my undies every day. Maybe if I'm running low, every couple of days. I'll be honest there and say. So obviously I take a bag full of underwear. I literally take a bag full of underwear to last, and also socks. I love my socks. Plenty of pairs of socks as well. So that's another factor that comes into it. Take loads of socks. Very skinny pair of socks and also very thick pair of socks. So again, if they get wet or sweaty or whatever, I can change my socks. So I'm changing my underwear quite regularly. So I need them. So I need to take them. So yeah, overall carrying is more my tent, you know, the tent that I'm taking with me, sleeping bag, sleeping mat and clothes. So that's the main 3 things that I'm carrying. So overall I'm not actually taking a lot. I do take a bit of stationery with me. I do take this with me because I probably don't need to take this with me. Probably don't need to carry these with me. However, when I do pull up somewhere and it's still quite early, I like to do a bit of journaling on my adventures. Do you know what I mean? I like to do a bit of writing. So that's sort of something that I could not take with me and have less weight. So, but what the other thing I want to talk about, what people have been mentioning, is cooking. Is a lot of people, my newer comers that look like I've been mentioning cooking. I don't do cooking. So what you guys have got to understand is, with me doing this travelling, I'm very, very, very new. I'm still an amateur. I'm still building experience and building knowledge. So I'm very new to it. You know what I mean? So the cooking part, I don't do right now. Do you know, it's so funny because, like I said, I watch on YouTube and other platforms. I do watch a lot of camping videos of people going out camping, and whatnot, and they have everything laid out what they're taking with them. Everything they're taking with them, they have it all laid out, and I think, God, that's so much stuff. How does all that stuff fit in one bag? How does all that stuff fit in one bag? They look like they have everything, and what I mean by everything but the kitchen sink. And the people who do the cooking, obviously, bear in mind, it looks like they have the gas canisters. They need the gas canisters, all the utensils, all the little frying pan and cups and everything like that, and then all the food. All the food as well. So when they're doing these videos and I see them and they've set it all up, the gas canister, and they've got it all going, and they're cooking and they're eating stuff that some people would eat better than eating in a restaurant. Like they're cooking steaks and sirloins and all that good stuff. And I just think right now, that's not me. I'm not at that stage yet, for a few reasons. There is a few reasons why I'm not at that stage. Maybe later on in the future will I get to that point where I buy that whole stove and take a stove with me and whatever. But right now I'm not at that stage for a couple of reasons. One, appetite. I've got a very, very, very basic appetite. I don't eat a lot of meat. So even if I did take a stove with me, I'd probably end up just living off beans. I literally probably would just end up living off beans. I don't see me cooking all the fancy steak and whatnot. So I've got a very basic appetite. So in other words, I grab and go. On these trips, as you've been seeing, I call in Wetherspoons. So I might get a bit of a breakfast and that'll last me the day. Or when I'm calling through somewhere, I get a sandwich or snacks as well. I buy snacks or obviously chips or something. So I grab and go. I'm not cooking. But that's the other thing. These people who are taking stoves, because what you've got to bear in mind with these adventures is people are doing it in different ways. They're sort of like packing up a lot of stuff, and they're travelling somewhere very remote into the middle of nowhere, and they could be staying there a couple of days. So they're literally staying somewhere where there's nothing around them, there's no shops or anything like that. So they take what they need to last them for a few days, which is food, which is understandable. Whereas for me, I'm on the go. I'm constantly on the go. These trips, obviously, if you've watched my videos, I'm passing through. So I'm always constantly travelling through somewhere and passing shops. So if I need to, if I'm hungry, I grab something as I'm passing through. You know what I mean? So then that way I'll arrive somewhere where there's not much around. I'll spend the night and then I'll be adding on the next day, again, passing shops where, again, I'll grab a sandwich or something if I'm hungry, if I need to. So that's why I don't need to do the whole cooking at the minute, that whole setup with the stove. I'm not there yet. I don't see me being there. And do you know what? When I were in the shop the other day, do you know what I found really, really funny? I was looking at all the equipment, all the stove and everything, and they have these right small sachets. They're about that big. Like little cooking packs that like different varieties that you can mash and bag or whatever's in there. Obviously, probably packed full of protein and fibre that hikers would genuinely need. But these little packs, £6 each. Like £6 each for a meal like that big. So I just thought that's so expensive just for one little pack. And then the other thing that I was thinking of upgrading to was a water filter, because I buy flavoured water. I like my flavoured water, so I buy the bottles of flavoured water and I take them with me. So I was looking to upgrade to where you can take an empty bottle. If you go near a pond or a lake or something, you can fill the bottle up with water and you can filter it. You can filter water so it cleans the water for you. £70! £70 for one of these water filters. That costs more than the 10. I thought, nah, I'd rather buy bottled water, thank you. I'd literally rather buy bottled water, honestly. So yeah, so all you newcomers, yeah, people are doing this for different reasons and are travelling in different ways. I'm doing something I genuinely enjoy. on a very basic budget. So that's, you know what I mean? So rather than thinking, right, I've got no money, I can't go anywhere, I'm skint, I can't go anywhere. No, I'm wanting to get out there and go travelling. I'm not spending a fortune on public transport. I'm not spending a fortune on equipment. Yes, the downside of that is, like I say again, if I'm not spending as much money on equipment, the equipment isn't as good. So yeah, the hardest part is the elements. You know, when the weather is bad, that is the hardest part. That'll always probably be the hardest part, regardless of whether I've got money or not. I think the weather for me will always be the hardest part, because I'm a summer baby. I love summer. I love it when it's sunny, but you can't control the weather. That's what I keep reminding myself. You can't control the weather. There's going to be bad weather. So yeah, but I genuinely love travelling. But like I say, I just don't want to be ripped off. So I want to do what I enjoy doing without, like I say, spending a fortune. And it's teaching you guys to get out there, do what you enjoy doing, do what you like doing the best, but trying to think of a way to do it that you're not having, like I say, getting ripped off and having to spend a fortune and having to have an expensive equipment and expensive of this. There is ways around things, and I'm still learning. Like I say again, I'm still learning, and as I go, as time goes on, I am going to probably upgrade. I am going to upgrade to better equipment. My experience is going to upgrade. I'm going to become more knowledgeable and more experienced and more, do you know what I mean? So everything's a learning curve, and I'm still very new in the early stages. Very, very new to it, and I'm hoping over time, and again, every time, you know, I put one of these videos up, I do get new comments and I do get new people to my channel, and up to now everyone's been so supportive, you know what I mean, with new suggestions, new ideas, like somebody as well just previously said, you know, in my last video where I showed my 2 tents, I could put the smaller tent in the bigger tent. And I thought that's actually a really good idea. That smaller tent, I could probably put it inside this tent, and that would protect me. That would be double protection. However, the issue with that would be is one, the carrying. I'd have to carry both of them pop-up tents, and 2, because that smaller tent, the door is on the side of the tent, not the front. It'd probably be a bit of a tighter squeeze to get in and get in the smaller tent. It probably would fit inside this. I'm going to have to put it to the test, actually. I haven't done that yet. I'm going to put it to the test, but it'd probably be a tighter squeeze to get in the smaller tent. But yeah, that is, again, a comment like that, actually quite a good suggestion. But yeah, like I said, guys, I've rambled on here like I normally do. I don't think many people are going to listen at this point. Let me know if you do. Honestly, guys, let me know if you do. Let me know if you're new to my channel, and if you are still listening and you're listening the whole way through without skipping. Be honest with me. Do you know what I mean? I don't mind a bit of negativity, you know, criticism. I know there's a few people that like to throw a few criticism at me, which isn't always a bad thing. You know, as long as you're not completely horrible and nasty and rude, I can handle aimless haters and aimless trolls. But overall, mostly, a lot of people are very supportive with what I do, and are very, you know, like I say, helpful. So it's really, really nice. But yeah, it's just about showing people that there's a big, wide open world out there. There's a big, wide open world out there, and you don't need to spend a fortune to go and enjoy yourself. You can still go and enjoy yourself on very basic means. Again, regardless of whether you are a millionaire or not, or you have got that loads of money or not, you can get out and enjoy yourself on very minimalist means. And that is what I'm about, is enjoying life as much as I can, which isn't, like I say again, always possible. Again, motivation for me is the number one killer. Motivation takes over, you know, exhaustion takes over. So sometimes I'm like, you know what, I don't feel like doing out today. Literally don't feel like going anywhere, doing anything. That's okay too. And the weather is my biggest downfall. I hate it when it rains. I really do. I'm trying my hardest to come to appreciate it. I'm trying my hardest to love it, but it's so hard. Like, as you can see right now, the sun is out and it's glorious. However, I don't live anywhere near the coast. I kind of do. I'm about a couple of hours away, but, you know, sometimes it's not a case of always just taking off and going to the coast, you know. But yeah, guys, again, as always, I love your comments, love your feedback. Let me know if you're new to my channel or not. Let me know if you've stayed this long and listened to me ramble on for this long. I do try to cut it down as much as I can, but I just go 10 miles an hour. That's me, guys. I go 10 miles an hour and my brain runs 10 miles an hour and I can just talk forever sometimes. So let me know in the comments. Appreciate all of yours and your comments.